All right, hello friends. Good evening. Hope you're all doing well. Good to see you all. Okay, so let's get right to it. A little short on time today because work day tomorrow. So today we're gonna be building a. Is it Plywrks? Is that how you pronounce it? Plywrks? Or is it supposed to be Plywrks? I'm not sure because it omits the vowels. I think it's Plywrks, but you know. So we're gonna be building a Plywrks Spyder TKL. Hello there, Ewan. Hello. Let's see who is here. Sunny, Lamp. Hello. Mochin. Hello. Shonies. Omaha Dad Games. Hello. Conan, Mick, hello. PB, hello. Captain Mal, hello. Big Max and Onions, hello. How's it going? Hey, good to see you all. Hope you guys all had a good weekend. I had a good weekend. What did I do yesterday? Actually, I don't remember. But today I went to the zoo. That was pretty fun. We have a membership to like the New York City Zoo system, and it's expiring soon, so we managed to just squeeze in an extra zoo visit today, the Bronx Zoo, and it's actually really nice. They basically have lots of like conserved species and stuff, and just in general, they do like a pretty nice active effort of basically preserving species and like helping them grow and like whatnot. And so it's a pretty sweet zoo with a lot of variety. And so if you ever happen to visit New York and you want to do like a daytime field trip to the zoo, it's actually really nice. Yeah, we spent there like 4 or 5 hours and it was really nice. So, or 3-4 hours rather, but it was pretty good. All right, so yes, let's get right to it. So today we're going to be building with these Gateron Khonsu switches. These are from Unikeys. These come factory lubed. They're like this nice gray color with sort of like a semi-opaque clear stem. They're like full travel, I think, switches, linears. They kind of remind me a lot of the sound and feel. It reminds me of those PE stems in like smooth housings, but very, very smooth. The lube application seems to be pretty nice and even, but yeah, factory lube, pretty nice. I know that people say the Gateron switches can have kind of a hit or miss sort of like factory lubing or whatever, but these seem pretty good. You end up getting a Spyder yourself, Mr. Lightning? No. Also, Divinity now too? Oh, cool. Cool. So they also got them as well. Alright, so let's get parts out. So there's like a whole array of stuff here. So there is screws, I assume top mount screws, bump-ons, and O-ring. There's a PC plate, there's an alu plate. I'm going to be using the PP plate today. There's a carbon fiber plate, another PC plate, there's a PP plate, polypropylene. There's just a piece of foam separating the plates from the PCBs. There is a solder CEM-3 PCB, and I assume a solder FR4 PCB. So CEM-3 is what we're using today. Daughter board and hardware. And yes, as Lamb said, aftermarket cut PP plate is what we have here. So flexi plate here. Okay, and here's the board. Let's Lamp, can you explain what color is like just purple, I guess? but purple sage. There we go. Purple sage. Sage purple. Purple sage color. The Porsche purple. Oh, okay, okay. Porsche purple. That's the way you want to go about it. Porsche purple. Sage purple. Purple sage. Very nice. This is, I think these are manued by, is this STR? But they come in the shrink wrap, the plastic wrap. This was not GB color. Yes, that is correct. This was not a GB color unit, as far as I'm aware. So I guess what do you call that? F&F type of deal. F&F purple. All right, so F&F purple. Take out the packaging. Okay, so I've never seen a Spyder in person, so this is the first time I see it. Oh wow, I like dripped like water on this. So you know, size wise, still pretty normal TKL size. F12 has a brass piece weight there, has an accent, or rather kind of like a back piece here, and then is this all a through weight or is this multiple pieces? I'm actually not 100% sure. I think this is one piece and then there's another piece here. I think there's one weight that goes here and then one weight that goes here, basically. But yeah, first time I see it. If I recall correctly, I'm assuming this is top mount and O-ring. You can see the O-ring posts. Daughter board over here. In terms of sort of like design language, is pretty classic inspired. It has the sort of like, you know, this like machining mark heavy weight and whatnot. This is like very close to what the Matrix 2.0 is like, the OG. And then it has you know, 360 Corsa kind of inspired sides. Not as deep cut, but you know, it has a shape. Nice and big screws for the case, which is always nice. I personally am not a huge fan of any case screws that are pretty small. Standard SJ5302 whatever bump-ons, or 30 or whatever the number is, but the standard bump-ons. Pretty low daughter board USB port over here. Pretty low to the desk. You know, and then it kind of, you know, so it's so it does have a seam, so you can kind of see it. So it's kind of interesting, the seam, and so there's like a little 3D taper over here. So there's a little taper on the side, but and then right below it is a seam. So it's kind of like, I don't know how to show it best, but the seam is pretty thin. It's kind of hard to see it there, but very nicely aligned there. So, but I mean, there is a seam, and you can definitely tell that the top and bottom pieces do have a ever so slight mismatch. It's not like, I mean, so actually the back makes it seem a lot more uniform, but if you see from the sides or from the front, you can sort of tell that the surface texture is sort of like ever so slightly different. But you know, I would say it's pretty uniform in terms of anodizing. Okay. And then open up here, over here, PCB. So PCB, this is, as it says over here, it's solder CEM-3. So CEM-3 is a different material, substrate material for PCB making. F4 has become kind of like the global standard for a lot of PCB work. But CEM-3 is kind of like an older material, or not older, but like used to be used a lot more before F4 became like a standard. not a lot more, but it's a material that exists. Typically considered to be slightly more flexible than FR4. The difference obviously diminishes the thicker the material actually is. But people will talk about CEM-3 PCBs back in the OTT days or whatever, and considered to be kind of like this slightly more flexible material, but basically harder to make with, work with in terms of fabrication. And so FR4 kind of has become the standard, and it's also I think FR4 is better in terms of all these other physical properties when it comes to stress and strain and other things. So basically FR4 is a standard, industry standard, but CEM-3 does exist out there for people to actually select and use if you work with a fab. But in the keyboard community at least, relevance wise, people will typically pick it as a way to have a different material and potentially changes in sound and slight differences in feel. So PCB wise, looks like it's basically ISO and anti-compatible, step caps lock regular, splits for the shifts, ISO and regular anti-enter, and split backspace as well. F12, you have basically 3 LED clusters, one for the caps lock, one for the scroll lock, which is just indicators, and then it looks like we have 2 little RGB indicators down here, on the side, and I assume those are gonna line up with these with the diffuser that's right here on the nav cluster of the board. Standard JST positioning, and over here bootloader switch and reset button. Uses an STM32 chip, so pretty standard stuff for nowadays. I've never seen the board, so I'm just kind of talking through the whole features, even though technically it's not even a review or anything. I just kind of like the technical side of it too anyway. So here we are. Okay, we'll need those. Actually, that's an extra. Don't need it for now. Let's put some bump-ons right now, since we already have the board here. I prefer to put them on early so that just in case the board need not make unnecessary contact with other stuff. So just slap them on now, worry about the rest later. What switches today? Gateron Khonsus. I haven't tried them, so no opinion on them myself. And then these are mounting screws, I assume, for top mount. Just gonna leave them there. Okay, so I'm gonna set these aside. Set this aside here. And then grab my little favorite piece of foam, generic packing foam, to do this. I guess just for the sake of making sure everything's working, connected to my universal DV and make sure it actually works. Okay, pops up. Lights up already. That's cool. Oh, shows up on VIA. Wonderful. I'm gonna just do some layout changes that I personally use for now. So bottom row, 7U, and see everything. And then left control there. I personally put left point over here, right alt, and for now everything else is fine. And let's go ahead and just do some quick testing. And yes, the board is lamps, as he says. So clients technically. Okay, just gonna test a few of these positions because it doesn't hurt. Just a few. Okay, I think I would say probably good enough. And then just quick visual inspection. Diodes all there. Okay, cool. No issues. Put aside. And let's get started with stabs. So I got my cherry clip-ins over here. Oops, I'll plug this in. That didn't plug it in. Too lazy to set up my stream stuff still? That's fair. Also injured? Oh, that's right. Did they tell you how long it would take for things to be alright? Like to like rest and stuff? Tore my LeBron James. 10-12 weeks of physical therapy? Oh, that's a while. Damn, 3 months. Okay, let's clip some of these stab legs. We're just using cherry clip-ins today. No surgery though. Beat those odds. Yeah, that's hell yeah. I mean, oof. It's getting injured. Like getting injured like that is always so scary. Cause well, I mean, obviously when you are injured, it's like, ow, and then when you go to a doctor, you're just kind of like banking on somewhat luck that nothing serious happened. So that's great. And also, hey, an excuse to get physical therapy and to actually get it can be kind of a godsend, because sometimes when you, so I mean, well, actually, not sometimes, I would say oftentimes for most people who do physical therapy or occupational, depending on what the, you know, circumstances are, you typically discover other things about your body, and it's always nice to just kind of address all these things and kind of get advice, professional advice, for, you know, taking care of your body essentially. And it's always good to have the excuse too. So it can also be like a bit of a silver lining. All right. Let's see. Here's my 205. Ball not for us, Unk. I haven't played any basketball since like I played basketball like in high school. And then I played like intramural in college. And then, you know, like occasionally just like scrimmage and stuff with friends. After that, but like very, very few times. And then haven't really for like, I don't know, how long has that been? Like 8 years, 7 years since I properly really played any basketball. So it's been a minute. It's been a minute since I've played any basketball. But it's fun, and I suck at it, but it's fun. Physically demanding. People always underestimate basketball, I feel. Or actually, well, non-players underestimate basketball. Like, it's so tiring. Because you actually have to run around the entire court all the time. Should we schedule court time for KeyCon 2026 so that you can see all my air balls and get blocked by literally every tall person on the block? No thanks. I would prefer to not embarrass myself more than I have in my life. It's alright. Won't be breaking any ankles. It's the one sport everyone can play, but not everyone is good at, and everyone has an ego. For real. That is so true, though. It's a tough sport, dude. Basketball is such a tough sport. I would watch. I would love to see Cole play basketball. Need Prime versus Hoff 1v1 for a capacitor. That's a good one. Don't you just throw? I mean, yeah, I throw so we lose. If you mean throwing in the game sense. But if you mean throwing the ball, I mean, that's assuming it'll reach. Or it doesn't get blocked. Like, BAM! I'm throwing all the time? Same. Me, IRL, with every game in sport. I truly enjoy sports, but truly suck at them. This is why my peak sport, or like athletic career, was track and field. The one thing where all I can do is just blame myself and nobody else. Just saying hi on my way to bed. Have fun. Have a good night. Also, not even good night. It's like 4 a.m. or whatever it is for you, Funzy. But yes, good night. Please rest up. Oh, I see someone's playing games over there. But I mean, I kind of miss playing basketball like more regularly. But yeah, I'm super out of shape to play any sports a lot lately. Just need to get back on it, to be honest. It's fun though. I used to play soccer too, obviously. How can a person who grew up in Mexico not play soccer, right? Sorry, football. Appropriately called. Bet you're good at wrestling? Me? Wrestling? No. No way, dude. No way. No way. Would break in half in like any minute. Wee wee. Against me? Doubt. Cole, I know that you have multiple belts and championships and rings or whatever. Whatever I don't even remember which one's which. I think it's belts, right? Yo, ELH Customs, what's good? The classic Greek style of wrestling? Yes. With oil. Ooh. Oh. Mediterranean sourced. I see. Does it include philosophical thoughts in between? I would pay to watch that. I'm sorry, closed door policy over here. Paying won't get you anywhere there. But I guess a bribe will. Pay me and I can make it happen? Oh, I see. Cole is ready to accept offers. I know what I have type of deal. Diego, is there a deeper sound signature switch you really like? I'm so sorry, but can you give me examples of deeper sound signature switches? Because at this point, I'm not sure what people consider, quote, deeper sound signature switches. Like, what is considered deeper and what is considered not deeper, so to speak? Or what is that? Clackier and thockier. Thwompier. I hear the sounds of bots being destroyed. Are you on practice range? Oh, no, but someone is playing. Is someone playing Overwatch in the background? Yes, the answer is yes. Our rate of playing Overwatch in a week is frequent, very frequent. The best part is that, you know, we never play competitive, so it's, yeah, it's been fun though. I have to say, we're kind of hooked, and like the new events or like the modes and stuff, like, you know, they're bringing back, like for the anniversary, they've been bringing back the different metas over the history of Overwatch, like Moth meta, and like, you know, I guess eventually they'll do like goats. They just did 2016, like the original release meta, or like original release patch or whatever. And then I think this past week they introduced like Mirror Watch, which was like basically like sort of like alternate powers for like select heroes. Like Mercy is kind of like, instead of rezzing, she like explodes corpses essentially. And like her Valkyrie instead is like basically like obliterating beam type of deal. So Overwatch, the main game you're playing, I would say lately, yes. I pretty much just play Overwatch. I still play Genshin occasionally. I pretty much just do like kind of bare minimum, to be honest, on that. Like super bare minimum. Like I'm not even caught up with that anymore, like story wise or whatever. but there is a new big patch, so it's like, you know, I'm pretty behind now. And then, I mean, recently I had picked up Peak, and that was fun, but I haven't really had a chance to play more of it after like doing it once or twice or whatever. And then what else? I mean, we'll like play like multiplayer games at home sometimes, like Mario Kart, Boomerang Fu, like on the Switch. For a while we were like really into like, you know, Overcooked and like getting all the levels, like all the 3 stars and whatnot, all the bonuses and all that stuff. And then I think we picked up Cat Quest 3, but we've just been really slow about playing that co-op game. What's in the video game backlog? I want to try out the Expedition 33 one, but I haven't really had any focus on playing a lot of games, so I didn't even buy it. I was like waiting for a sale, hopefully, but I don't know, maybe I'll play it next year. Overcooked so stressful? Oh really? I don't find it stressful at all, actually. I find it kind of easy in terms of like, it's just coordination. Overcooked, it's just like button coordination and not getting mad at other people, which obviously is a hard task because it's about coordinating with your teammates. But once you get like figure out, like you play like 1-2 mock round, and then you figure out the system, it's kind of auto. It's just a matter of doing it. Have you played Silksong? No, because I never played a Hollow Knight. I haven't even touched Hollow Knight at all. So I don't even know the premise fully, aside from it, you know, aside from the genre of the game. This is like when people talked about Death Stranding, and I was like, what is that? And then people were like, oh yeah, Hideo Kojima, blah blah blah, and I was like, oh cool. And then I never really, I like opened the like game Wikipedia once, and then I was like, I'll consider it when it goes on sale next year. But I mean, backlog wise, I mean, I do have a Steam like library full of games I'd never touched. I heard Borderlands 4 is kind of fun. I heard about performance issues, like in terms of graphics and whatnot, but I don't really know what the deal with that is. I think it's something about what, Unreal Engine, right? But I don't really know too much about it. I played Borderlands 3 for a bit, and it was okay, but never really played it too much, I would say. Yeah, I did see some gameplay for Borderlands 4, which looks really good, but I guess it's not really in my like high in the list for me to actually buy and play. The problem with me playing games is that I can't keep up with them. Like I don't like play games because once they like I don't play the games as soon as they come out, you know. I just don't have the time for that. So it's kind of hard to keep up with it, with stuff. So I don't like, and I hate the idea of, what is this, paying like $50-$60 for a game and then playing like what, like 20-30 hours or whatever, and then not finishing it and then dropping it, and then someone, you know, a new game comes out, right, like months later or whatever, and then, you know, people are like, oh, we're hopping onto that one. It's like, and then it's like you gotta like hop onto that one. I'm like not gonna do that, especially if it's like, I'm kind of a bit of a completionist when it comes to playing games too. So it's like, I want to collect all the shit, do all the side quests, all the main quests, get the lore, get kind of like, you know, like get kind of invested in it, or like, or if it's one of those games where it's like levels and points and kind of stuff, it's like I like completing all the stuff, you know. So it'll be pretty hard for me to like jump from one game to the next, because it's just not the type of gaming I would want to do, and then paying money for it. So it's like, I like supporting, you know, like paying for the games to support the studios and whatever, you know, that's cool. But the idea of leaving games in between is just kind of sad. Not this song. I want to play games so bad. Oh, hey, Talkiness, hello. So poorly optimized. Yeah, that's what I heard about BL4. Just wait until you can get Borderlands for 80% off in 2 years. Yeah, right, exactly. Or free on Epic. Real. I'm so tempted to get a handheld so I can play on the couch or on the go. You see, I say things like this and I never fucking play on the go. It's the worst. So I knew the moment I was not playing like my Switch on the go or whatever else, which I still could play on the go, I realized that as soon as I was not actually playing those things on the go, that when the Steam Deck came out, I was like, there's no chance I'm actually going to be doing that. No chance. Like, what's the point of me wasting money to get a Steam Deck or whatever? And I know I'm not going to spend more than like a few hours at most. You know? It's like, I'll never finish a game. I would rather save myself from doing that and just schedule myself to play like a game for a certain amount of time and then, you know, kind of go from there. But like, yeah, like, and like, you know, especially like, I mean, it's not like I'm going to play on the go here in like New York City subway, right? Or whatever. It's like, no way. Someone's going to snatch it away from you or something. Also, just kind of weird, you know? So you're like, have to like transfer stations and shit like that. It's kind of annoying. So no, it's not happening. I pretty much only play my Switch on the go. Yeah, I pretty much only play my Switch on the screen on like the TV. So it's one of those things. But I mean, yeah, if it were like a single player game, platformer, that kind of stuff, I think I would play more. Yeah. But I don't really remember the last time I like really picked up a console and played on the go since like I had my 3DS, which I do still have, and you know. But I really just don't play a lot of games these days, admittedly. I used to play so many more games, but yeah, not anymore. Kind of sad. Kind of sad. Kind of sad. I really do wish I had more time and patience to play games. Because I feel like I used to, but now I kind of don't. Or it's like that, you know, if I'm on the go, it's like I probably would rather like be talking to like people I'm traveling with, or I mean, obviously if I'm on my own, maybe, but not like I do that much like solo traveling and stuff like that these days. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things. Definitely just. I feel like ever since my college years, probably I really stopped playing as many games. Because when I was in college, I actually cut out games and TV. Those are the two things I really cut out in college, so I could like spend time with people and like focus on like other stuff. Like I had a part-time job, obviously, so I was like busy, and I obviously had like I was taking a bunch of credits or whatever, so I was like busy with classwork and stuff. But you know, I also wanted to like, you know, hang out with my friends, go do other stuff, you know, parties or whatever it is. But you know, but basically I kind of cut out TV and games a lot during my college years, and that was I personally think that was completely worth it, because I could bond with my friends over games. Like we would pick up games and play them, but like I wouldn't make it a habit of playing games. And then that kind of stuck, I guess. I just didn't play as many games when I was like after I graduated school. Sounds like growing up. Yeah, 3DS the go. I love the 3DS. 3DS is such a good console, and there's a lot of good games on it too. I wish I could play Bloodborne on a handheld. That sounds fun. Maybe you just don't like games that much anymore. That's the funny thing. It's not so much that I don't like games. I do really love games, and I do really get invested in them. Honestly, it's the adulting part that I just don't have enough focus time for me to be in front of a screen and spend that whole time playing it without any distractions. Just me and the game. Like that's something, you know, it's part of adulting, right? And I think once I realized that I just didn't have that luxury, it really detracted away from me wanting to do it, because I knew that I would constantly get interrupted, get distracted by something else, have something else to do, can only like, you know, that's why you play Overwatch, right? You can square in 30 minutes of gameplay and quit the game, you know, or like, you know, like you're done, right? Same with like, you know, like these like gacha games, right? Like, which are kind of like, you can kind of like quick and dirty, you know, like just like do the dailies or whatever you need to do, and then boom, you quit the game, you know. It's like quick and easy. But like stuff like that had like a lot of single player, or like a lot of exploration, like a lot of things that, you know, you just kind of, it's better enjoyed as an experience of like spending a lot of time just playing that game. Now that I don't have the luxury to do so, it kind of, yeah, took away my desire to actually do so. Super Mario Galaxy on the go about to be lit. Elden Ring was the only good game I've actually liked recently. I want to see Drunk Lightning. Maybe if you come out to New York, or if I come out to LA, Cole, we could hang out. We could go out drinking or whatever. I actually have so much dead time on the business trips in the evenings. Oh, that would actually work. Business trips, yeah. I do have a business trip coming up later this coming month, like in October. So maybe I'll have something for on the go. I'll figure something out. I feel that way about trying to get into reading. Reading, weirdly enough, I'm okay about reading short bursts, but I'm getting, but you need to do it very frequently so that you don't completely break the flow of the writing, right? Like of what you're reading. I think once that flow starts to really break, then it kind of sucks, because you're like, what did I read last time? I totally forgot what happened last chapter, you know. So totally, yeah, that's fair. Now I just stick with Hollow Knight Silksong. Either I beat the boss in like 20 minutes or try tomorrow. Fair. Give up Persona because it legitimately just takes too fucking long. Don't have time. Yeah. Okay. Grinding to get to a save point in Persona. I've seen my partner, you know, she's like, oh, I haven't saved it. So we like put the thing, you know, like prevent it from going to like, you know, like turning off, right? And then it's like it takes forever. Yeah, so I get that. I get that. I was like, that's insufferable. Like the fact that you have to like get to a save point. Drunk Lightning is really good at DDR. I don't even have to be drunk to play DDR or pump it up. You know? So yeah, leaving AFK for 12 hours works too. Yeah, that's what we do. for Persona. Maybe like tipsy. Have you ever done a drunk building stream? I've drunk like, I've had like beers and stuff on like while building, but honestly, it's the problem is that I don't have like a super I have a much lower tolerance than, you know, I used to. Like in college, yeah, my tolerance was kind of high. Like I would get drunk in 2 bottles of soju ish. Now it's like 1 probably would kick me for sure. Ish. That's like the reference point. So like maybe like 4 or 5 strong drinks. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't get drunk like within the time of just like enjoying drinks during a build stream, you know. So yeah. Okay, let me test these stabs real quick. So Korean. Time to train that liver again. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I like that I have much lower tolerance. I actually enjoy it so much more, dude. I love that I get buzzed like after like the first second drink. Like I'm like feeling it a little bit, you know? I love that. I hated not being like that back in the day. It's so nice to be like a cheap date, so to speak. It's so nice, so convenient. It's actually great. So I personally love that I have a low tolerance. Like lower, rather. Okay, I want to know what your top 20 videos of all time are. I mean, they're gonna be like the same ones a lot of nerds my age would respond, I think. I feel. Personally, okay, well, I mean, I'm a huge Zelda game fan, so obvious ones all go up. Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess. Breath of the Wild I actually wouldn't rank that highly. A Link to the Past really high. I would put Super Smash Bros. 64 pretty high as well. I play a lot of that. Melee, obviously, pretty high up. I would put like Castlevania pretty high up. Super Mario World pretty high up. What else? I like Ace Attorney, so I would put Ace Attorney up there. Like Ace Attorney series in general. Zero Escape series also really good. Thoughts on Skyward Sword? I enjoyed the gameplay on Skyward Sword. Really enjoyed the gameplay on Skyward Sword. I actually have that gold, the gold Wiimote. I have that. But yeah, I'm a huge Zelda fan. Like I've gone to concerts for the music. I have like strategy guides. I have like a bunch of the collectibles and stuff. Yeah. I'm a huge Zelda guy. Really love all those games. Always wanted like a replica Master Sword type of deal, but obviously never really got one. What else? Have you played 1000 Resist? No, I haven't. No. Oh, other games like shooters. There's some that I enjoy. Like CS Source would put pretty high too, or 1.6 or Source. Like old school Aztec or Dust. Like playing those maps, always super fun. Office, right? The games with mods also were pretty fun back in the day when they're like mods for CS. Diablo, I'm super invested. I used to be very invested in the Diablo franchise. So Diablo 1, Diablo 2, and Lord of Destruction, obviously super invested. I play a lot of Diablo 3 as well. Final Fantasy X is also pretty high up for me. Final Fantasy 7, 8 are really high up for me. No, 7 and 9, sorry. 7 and 9 are pretty high up for me too. Tactics is really high up for me. Any opinions in CS2? No opinions because I didn't play CS2. I didn't play. CSGO I played, but it was already after I had kind of lost any touch with CS. So like I remember playing CS:GO with some friends, and they're like, "Oh yeah, can you smoke, or like flash here." I was like, and I sucked, so I was like completely out of it. Like I couldn't do it. I was not good at it, So I can't play competitive CS. Like it's too much. It's just I just don't have that touch. Just not good at it. So I didn't really play too much CS:GO. I play a lot of Dota 1, Warcraft Dota, Warcraft 3 Dota, OG Dota, best Dota in my opinion. But Dota 2 was great. I play a lot of Dota 2 too, but OG Dota is the best one. I mean, I just have nostalgia. I have a lot of rose-colored glasses view on these things. Like I played on G Arena or Garena or whatever you want to call it. I played so much of that, and when I was in high school, Warcraft 3 Dota on G Arena or whatever that was called. Wait, I played Dota 2 when we playing. I haven't played since like forever, essentially forever. I pretty much abandoned MOBAs and like similar games after I graduated college, essentially abandoned it after that. I played all of them though. I played League, I played Dota, I played Dota 2, I played Heroes of New Earth, I played Heroes of Storm. I played all of them, and they're all great and all, But there came a point where I was just like, enough. I just don't enjoy it as much anymore. It was fun. It was fun while it lasted, but I don't touch any of them anymore. Halo, I kind of don't have a big Halo or COD phase because I didn't own an Xbox when I was a kid. I had the consoles I played. So I'm a big like Nintendo franchise fan in general. I played a lot of PC stuff. I had a PS2, N64, GameCube, Wii later actually. I got it way later. And I did get a Wii U eventually. I do have a Switch, of course. PSP, like the OG PSP too, the thick one. Yeah. But Xbox, I didn't have a big, like, I didn't live the whole Xbox era as much because my friends had Xboxes, but I only play whenever I would, like, you know, go to my friend's place kind of to play Xbox, or like they would like bring it to, like, you know, like a party or like a house party or whatever, right? So not huge on any of the Xbox franchise stuff. PlayStation though, like I PS2, and I didn't get a PS3. We have a PS4, but I didn't get a PS5, right? So didn't really keep up with all that. I had a PSP Vita when I was a kid. Yeah, I used to also do PSP Homebrew back when it was a service to like downgrade the kernel and put custom firmware on it so that you could load things from the memory card. And you had to have specific what is that, the U something disk, the small disk. You needed like specific disk to be able to downgrade the kernel to like a specific version to put the firmware on it. Otherwise, it would break the thing. I used to do that when I was in like middle school to high school. I like was like really interested in all that stuff, like custom firmware and that kind of stuff, like homebrew stuff, and so I really got into that whole scene. So I would like go into like those like computing marketplaces and like learn about that, and then learn about the PSP like modding scene and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that was like the era I lived, and I was like really into it. Burnout Dominator was such a good game. Like, or is it Dominator? Where it's the game where you crash into other cars and like make them explode. Essentially. GTA, not hugely invested personally. It's fun. But yeah, I'm invested in like, you know, old school JRPGs as well. You know, Chrono Trigger, Secret of Mana. You know, I played like some of the Tales games. Obviously like Final Fantasy, like all like I played like most of them. Let's see, I played 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 2 or whatever it was called. And then I didn't play any most after that. Burnout was amazing. Ratchet and Crank, yeah. Or like Banjo-Kazooie back in the day. Those are good. NDS stuff, Nintendo DS stuff. I mean, like, let me show you. Okay, I have a bunch of like carts or whatever here. Let me see if I can show some of these. But like I have like, you know, I have a lot of like physical 3DS games. Like there's like, what's that, like Final Fantasy Chronicle, Shovel Knight, Bravely Default, Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes, Ace Combat, Fire Emblem Awakening, Xenoblade Chronicles, Professor Layton, Ocarina of Time, Hyrule Warriors, Majora's Mask, Smash Ultimate, MH4U, Star Fox. And then over here I have like more Professor Layton, Kingdom Hearts, 999, Ace Attorney, a bunch of Fire Emblem stuff, Pokemon.
Pokemon is mine.
Yeah, that's true. Pokemon is yours. But yeah, I play a lot of DS as well. The World Ends With You is a great game as well. I'm not like, whoa, greatest game ever, but it's up there. It's a very good game. If you want like a DS game rather than a new Nintendo 3DS type of game. Back in the day, what else was good? On Game Boy, like Golden Sun was really good, right? And then I remember when the GameCube came out, Prince of Persia was really good. Back when we actually owned the stuff we paid for. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I was a big stickler for physical games for a while, and then I kind of gave up on it, cause yeah. GTA 5 came out when I was 13. Oh my god. Old. Feels old, man. What was the first GTA that I got exposed to? 3, probably? On the PS2, I think 3 was the one I got exposed to. And then 4 was San Andreas, right? Yeah. I think 3 was what? Vice City or whatever? 4 was San Andreas, and then it was 5, right? Only one series I care about having at least one or a few physicals for: Pokemon. Oh, that's fair. I mean, I don't keep up with Pokemon, so my knowledge of Pokemon is like, it's like Emerald, Sapphire, Emerald, Ruby. I did not play like most of them after. I do have I think we have X and Y and like and another one. But like my favorite Pokemon game is Soul Silver or Silver. Like, you know, Gold, Silver, Crystal edition. And then, you know, which obviously got remade into like Soul Silver or whatever. And then and Heart Gold, right? And then the OG one, Yellow, Blue, Red. Yellow being my personal favorite, but yeah. But yeah, I mean, I obviously am super nostalgic about these things because that's what I kind of grew up with. I don't know anything about like new gen stuff for Pokemon. I mean, what other things have I not mentioned? Metroid. What else? I mean, there's a lot, really. Okay, so let's get soldering. Black and White 2 is and was still is peak. Yeah, I'm not really acquainted, so can't confirm nor deny. That, to be honest, I really don't know, so won't really say much about it. I would say, personally, I think I would personally play like a JRPG over a Pokemon game most of the time. I'm more of a JRPG kind of person, rather. But I enjoyed Pokemon while I played it. It kind of gets repetitive, and I guess both are repetitive, actually. Both are very grindy and repetitive. So I guess at the end of the day, there's no real opinion there. But I think I would still probably play a JRPG over Pokemon. But they're fun. They're fun games. Black and White 2 is peak. There's so much content. It's such great pixel animations. Oh yeah. Oh yes. There was a time I was really into Pokemon P-Cross. You guys remember P-Cross? I mean, there still is P-Cross, right? There's a time I was playing a lot of P-Cross. This is completely outside of the obviously playing actual Pokemon games, but remember P-Cross, but didn't play it much. Yeah, I sometimes enjoyed playing those, like, you know, brain stimulation sort of games, like puzzly or like that kind of stuff as well. Yeah. Like, I remember when I had the original DS, I played a lot of what is that, Brain Age or whatever, where it's like arithmetic problems kind of stuff. Such a nerd. But there was a time I was like, oh yeah, kind of fun. My favorite spin-off is Mystery Dungeon. Oh. DS game library is huge. Yeah, I mean the DS was a really awesome console, like portable console in my opinion. I mean, I think most people can admit to that. Game Boy Advance as well, right? Like, oh my god, how could I not mention Mega Man? I played a lot of Mega Man. OG Mega Mans, not all of them. Obviously played through the entire X series, well, most of it. Not the post PS like sequels, all the sequels, but 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 5 also, like up to X5, and then obviously all the Zero and the ZX series. They're peak, they're awesome. Really fun. A lot of Mega Man. Super nostalgic about Mega Man for sure. And then now that I'm thinking about, like, you know, people were talking about like Smash, like, you know, like Smash Bros, right? Like if you look at a lot of the characters feature from there, like, you know, obviously I played Metal Gear Solid. I played, like, I'm thinking of like other franchises, like on PlayStation there was like Devil May Cry, Onimusha, that kind of stuff. Shadow of the Colossus, pretty nice game. Elder Scrolls, obviously played all through Oblivion and Skyrim. I like the Mega Man ZX Advent for DS. Yeah, all those, the Mega Man games, when they came back on the Game Boy and the DS, they were great. It was a good way to keep interest in their franchise after a lot of relatively lukewarm releases on other platforms, on like main consoles, on like TV consoles. So that was nice of them. It was the same way I felt about like when, like for Zelda games, like when Minish Cap came out. It was very refreshing and so fun. Such a great game where it preserved a lot of the dungeon crawling aspects from, like, you know, like A Link to the Past or like, you know, some of the other games, but then it introduced a bunch of like cool new mechanics, and like obviously the graphics were fun and whatnot. So I mean, but yeah, Game Boy Advance and DS library, humongous. Yeah, I don't have a Game Boy Advance, obviously. Like, I don't have a console anymore, but yeah, I play a lot of those when I was younger. But yeah, I mean, definitely grew up like having the privilege to play a lot of games or being interested in games, and also like having friends who were like also interested. I mean, I'm very like glad that like I had friends who didn't overlap as much on the stuff that we bought. I mean, in some cases we actually just coordinated straight up to like, because you know we can't all afford all of it, right? So we would like kind of like coordinate what to buy so that we could like play through, and we could borrow and like lend to each other and play more games. So I'm pretty thankful that I actually got exposed to a lot of game franchises and a lot of console stuff that I otherwise wouldn't have been able to. Kind of like, you know, like for example, I probably would have never been exposed to like God of War, or like Soul Calibur, or like what is that? No, not God of War. There's another one, right? Gears of War, was it? There's like that one, and like a few other games that like you know, like Halo, you know, like Xbox related, or like Call of Duty kind of thing. Obviously, they all became popular and came to like PC and like other platforms, but there's a time like people were kind of exclusively playing it on console. So yeah, like I mean, like consoles we currently own is like I have, you know, obviously PC, Switch, PS4. I have a Wii U as well, and Nintendo. You know, I have new Nintendo 3DS, 3DS XL, and I used to have a Wii, GameCube, 64, SNES, PS2, but those I actually gave away to like family friends and stuff, or like other people, like other kids that I knew to like just play through and stuff. And I think ever since we never really bothered to like get them back or whatever. Although to be honest, I mean, it's fine. I played through all of them and played a lot of it, so it's I kind of got my enjoyment out of it, and I, you know, don't look back and say, oh yeah, this is worth this much now. Don't really care. Used to have like, you know, Game Boys and stuff, but yeah, right now it's basically PC, Switch, PS4, and I guess Wii U. We currently have it. What is that, with like the custom firmware thing to load like GameCube games and stuff like that. What are you currently playing on the most? Right now, PC, for sure. And I would say PC, followed by Switch, followed by PlayStation 4. Mostly because of our reluctance to purchase anything newer than the PS4. Because we know we won't really play that much of it, I think. What's a game you wish you could erase your memory and play for the first time again? Probably Majora's Mask. That's a game that it was so fun. Majora's Mask was so fun to play for the first time. Just like almost everyone who played through single player Diablo 2 for the first time, or Diablo 1 and 2, I think the first playthrough for everyone was kind of a very cool, fun experience, except, you know, there are obviously problems with them too, but I would love to replay those kind of like as if from scratch as well. Obviously once they went online, like with Battle.net, that kind of changed everything on that, but single player was fun on those two. The 999, the Zero Escape series, first playthrough. I mean, they're like visual novel style games, so obviously once you play through them once, you pretty much know the whole thing, sort of thing. So obviously playing through them again would be wonderful as well. A lot of mind-blowing like plot elements happen. So obviously getting exposed to them for the first time again is awesome. RDR2. I did not play RDR2. Although I do know a lot of, or a decent bit about it because I had friends who would talk about it all the time. But yeah, like my, you know, basically my big gaming era was basically 2000s through like early 2010s, I guess. Well, at that point I had largely stopped playing as much new stuff. And then my kind of like dark period on pretty much anything popular media in terms of games, movies. No, actually not movies. I did follow movies relatively well, but TV, books, and games I pretty much did not follow between like 2015 and like 2020, or like no 20, yeah, like 2014 to like 2020. I kind of missed out on everything. TV, like anime, you know, like games. Like I kind of did not keep up with any of that stuff between that period of time because I was like busy and just kind of, I don't know, was like at the very bottom of my list, honestly. So I missed out on a lot of stuff that happened in that period of time. And then even after 2020, I just never kept up. So I missed out on a lot of stuff. Pocket Donut, thanks for the tier 1. Oh, for 6 months in advance. Damn, thank you. Those were the simpler times when I like it. Do you find yourself in nostalgia often? Yeah, for sure. All the time. Yeah. I keep saying things like back in the day, or back when I could actually own software, like buy it once and own it forever. You know, talking about CRTs or whatever, and you know, yeah, for sure, obviously, all the time, nostalgia, all the time. Back when things were good, they don't make them like they used to, but at the same time, I recognize that certain things are really good now. So back when DLCs didn't exist, yeah, you know, subscriptions, DLCs, non-permanent license stuff, you know, like it's annoying, right? Diego, will you be building the Onibi from KBD fans? Not that I'm currently aware. If they reach out to me, then yes, but at the moment, I don't think so. More nostalgia must be a recession indicator. Maybe, yeah. To be fair, it's kind of interesting to see things come around in terms of like pop culture references, among other things, because like my current generation, they're like professionals now, right? Like they're game developers, they're movie makers, they're, you know, big time designers, whatever, right? And so it's cool to see like trends come around. I think that's one thing that you always notice. It's like as you get older, it's like you notice that certain trends have come around, and you're like, huh. It's because, yeah, I get it. It's because the things that we thought were cool back in our teenage years, we're bringing them into the professional world now. So it's like cool again. Like you see, like I see kids, or not kids, you know, like college or high school kids or whatever, right? Wear clothes that I feel like were more in back when I was, you know, like in high school or whatever, right? And I'm like, huh, that's crazy. It's like, you know, I wear like somewhat skinny jeans, and I'm like, yeah, that's kind of weird now, right? And I'm like, that's all I have. It's like, better keep up with the times. Get some baggy jeans or whatever, you know, when it comes to clothes. 2011 about to be 15 years ago. That's insane. Software as a service is among the worst capitalism inventions. For real, yes. It's just it's crazy for sure. It's so evil. Like for sure, it makes money, man. It makes money, but it's so evil. Oh gosh, just thinking about it is aggravating. Microsoft and Adobe, yeah. Rise of ads and everything, yeah, ads. I mean, well, ads in some form were always there, right? In some way, I think, but and not. It definitely feels it's so in your face now, and especially with targeting and data collection and quote unquote, I will, very very quote unquote personalized content, that kind of stuff, like suggested stuff. It's super creepy and yeah, like just wild. So yeah, it hits diff. Pay to win. Well, pay to win always was there. I think pay to win in terms of gaming always existed. There was always pay to win. I don't think that's too foreign of a concept to me. I think that was just kind of there. You just deal with it. You just have to get over it. Like it just. There's always going to be someone paying more than you, or paying more to win. To get some kind of advantage, and someone's going to allow it because money talks. I mean, money talks. So yes. Okay, so should we do top mount? I think PP play top mount would probably be good, right? Top mount. Let's just do top mount. I am kind of feeling top mount. All three mounts? Wait, three? You mean two? What three? There's a third one? Did I miss something? Oh, O-ring dual. Oh, I see. Do you want that, Lamp? Do you want to do that? Are you gonna? I mean, you can do it. You can do it yourself, but you can do whatever you want. I feel like top mount is the way to go. I like dual the most. Oh yeah. Should I do that? I mean, it's not hard. All I need to do is just cram in an O-ring, right? All I need to do is just wrap the O-ring and put it on. What's dual? I think it's just putting the O-ring in between. I think I can still do it because it's not fully screwed in. Okay, cool. Let's do that. Why not? Just need to make sure that this O-ring actually gets through there. Yeah, so now it's properly in between. All right, let's try this O-ring dual, where people put an O-ring, even though it's top mounted, basically to add some, gasket based vibration absorption and sort of isolation, just a bit. Let's try it all the mounts. What time is it? Okay, I probably have time. I do have to work tomorrow, so just try not to go too long. Yo, censor that. It sucks. I know you didn't want to hear that. I know you don't want to hear that. I know. I hate it too. My friend wants to make butternut squash soup tomorrow. Yo, that sounds so good. I love butternut squash. Ah, crap. Damn it. Just drop that little screw over here. STR fucked up a PP plate. Some people had bowed units. That sucks. But yeah, is there gonna be reparations from the manufacturer about that? I mean, it seems like a manufacturer issue, right? Like QC type of deal. Waiting for a PR response. Oh, okay. Oh well, sometimes it's a difficult situation because the chances that the manufacturer can be like, hey, go kick rocks is, I mean, it's like a 50-50, right? They could just tell you, sorry, got your money already. Kick rocks. I mean, obviously it means ruining that relationship, but some people do this. Terrible, but you know. I'm replacing affected units with my own extras. Oh, I hope it works out. That's stressful. That is very stressful. That stuff is so aggravating. It's like it's not even your fault. But alas, here we are. STR is so well known, they have a reputation to uphold. I mean, can't we say this of like every possible exit scammer had a reputation to uphold, and then they went poof, and then they're like, okay, bye, bye everyone, see you never again. Like, it just happens, you know? It is true that some are better in terms of PR slash customer service, aftercare, whatever you want to call it, than others, but under certain stressors, these, you know, any company, any person can choose, I guess, wrong or the mean thing to do. ASCII F got delays. Oh, that's unfortunate. I feel for Mr. Frank. That's kind of a bummer, to be honest. Okay, so this purple is kind of like on a lighter purple. So would work well with sets that play with purple, but also not necessarily have it as a main color, I would say. It's not as dark as the Jaguar purple, is like a darker grape purple. This one's not so much, I would say. Deep space? You want me to put deep space on this? I could put deep space. Do you want me to put deep space? I could do deep space. Do you guys know what deep space is? Or like looks like? GMK deep space? It looks like this. I can show you actually. I have a picture of a board with it. Where is it? Where is my browser? Look, this is what deep space looks like. That's deep space. That's GMK deep space. Pretty cool set. Diego, do you have First Love? I actually did have the set, but I need to like go find it. I'm not sure how to explain this, but basically it's like I like put it aside and then I pack stuff up, and I'm like trying to find some things that I think I just like pack separately. I need to like go find it. I normally put everything in the same place, but this is like the one set I got in, and then like I was like I like misplaced it. No, it's not lost technically. It's just there. It's just in a separate place. I just don't remember what the exact place is. It would normally take me like a minute to get something, but it would take me like 5, and I don't want to make you wait 5 essentially. That's basically what it is. But actually, hold on, let me take a look. I usually like check on these things. First Love, right? Oh, I can get it. I can get First Love. I think I actually found it and organized the other day. It was just yeah. Okay, I'll be right back. I'll get First Love. Okay, I'm back. I got the set. GMK First Love. All right, yeah. I think this will be a pretty good pairing. Totally agree with Lamp. Actually, maybe a little darker, but I think it's okay. Yeah, it has some contrast, so I think it'll be good. The lighter color on this set is pretty much like a match to the, or pretty close to the Ano. I mean, obviously metallic color versus plastic color is kind of a big difference, but let's try the accent enter. Found out the designer's from Boston. Oh, you didn't know Otani? Oh, I see. Oh, Otani, what a guy. I remember. He used to have a lot of cool boards too. I mean, he sold them all. I think pretty sure he sold most of it. Right? Actually, I think he sold like all of it, most of it. But yeah, he used to collect a lot of nice boards too. I was out of the hobby at that time. Oh, okay. Got it. Let me see. Can't believe Future Crime sold everything. Yep. Future Crime also sold everything. For what it's worth, Future Crime was also kind of on the way out for several years now. So, I get it. I get it. I mean, most people move on. That's just kind of the reality. I think people who stay for a long time are rarer, I would argue, than people who just kind of check out and they're like, okay, I've done everything that I wanted to do in the hobby and I'm gonna bounce now. Wait, R4. This set reminds me of Quappa. Yeah, of course. Will you look back fondly on your time in the hobby? Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, yes, for me, yes, because I have close friends that I made in the hobby too. Like I have friends that I keep in touch with pretty much daily or very, very frequently in the hobby that I got close with like over the course of being in the hobby. So it's like, yeah, of course I'll look back and be like, oh yeah, it was, it's a good time. I don't think there's much that would sour me from the hobby unless it were like extraordinary. I really can't think of too many things. It would have to be something kind of tragic, I would say, like emotionally tragic. Like I don't think I have to mention it, but it could be like grief, death, loss, things like that. Obviously, like tragic stuff. Like I think that's kind of like the only way I would feel very sour about the hobby or anything like that as a whole. But yeah, no, ultimately, no, probably not. Probably fine. It's a good case keycap combo. Yeah, it's pretty good. How many personal boards do you have in your collection? Yes. That's my answer. Too many. More than I should have. Etc. Good day from Melbourne. Hello, good day. We have the world's most dangerous spiders here, and none are purple though. Ah, fair. So you could say that the purple spiders are rare, right? What is Prime Keyboard? Is that the company in Korea that offers anodization service? No. Oh well. Okay. Let's clarify. There are 3 brands that I personally know who use the name Prime in their branding. One, the one that is or has been an affiliate / sponsor of this channel, was Prime KB. Prime KB. Prime KB is a vendor. I believe they're located in Texas, and they are US based. They ran a variety of sets and products. They were the ones who vendored the alpacas first. They vendored a lot of at the during the peak part of the hobby. They also vendored initially they started with duck boards, like the duck designer from Korea, duck replacement feet, and then also they also did DSS Honeywell. They did GMK Inokuma. They did the Meridian with AIO3. They would sell other supplies like the Prime. They would also sell the Prime E, the Elise. I think that was another board of theirs. But pretty solid vendor. I don't think they really had any issues ever that I recall. But good vendor. Always delivered quickly. But yeah, based in the US, and most recently they actually announced that they're going to be sunsetting their work. So they've largely done a big kind of clearance sale on their site. And then there is Prime Caps. They're artisan makers in the Vancouver, British Columbia area in Canada. There's Prime Caps, and then there's Prime Anodizing, or sorry, Prime, is it just Prime Anodizing? Prime anodizing service. That's the one that you're referring to in South Korea. And they just do like refinishing and stuff like that for boards. So yeah, 3 kind of completely different entities. By the way, when people say Prime KB, that's the vendor in Texas. I'm trying to only have max 2 keyboards per layout. Prudent. I approve. It's a good way to do it. Alright. Ooh. This was a nice choice. Let's put some resin on this. I got some purple stuff over here. Oops. I have some purple on my ocelot over here. Maybe we can do this Earl. I have some more purple over here. We can do First Love, right? I have this Menlo that would kind of work well with this. Maybe the Menlo can go in the middle. Exclamation music. Oh, I can share you a playlist. Hold on. This one, Oatmeal's ideation. I don't have Oatmeal's ideation food. Unfortunately. I'll put some Keycaps because I'm just kind of having fun here. Purple ones. Purple ones. Purple ones. Do you like this sleeve key? I like this sleeve key. It's kind of bright, but actually it kind of works well at the accent. Oh, don't press this all the way. Maybe Saunders. It's kind of shiny. Maybe something to balance it out. Maybe something like that. That works. Not the perfect pairings, but I think they're cute, so I'm just gonna leave them on. Are there shine through artisan keycaps? Yeah, there are some. I mean, there's like translucent ones. Like this one's translucent-ish. You know, like if you shine a light through it, you'll sort of see. This one's taupe though, but yeah, this is from Amana Studio. But yeah, there's like translucent ones, or like this one's also kind of like semi-translucent too. So I guess shine through in the sense that you can put an LED under it and it'll shine some of the light through. Ooh, there it is. Okay, shall we try this out? I'm gonna, where's that lighting? The FX speed's kind of too fast. All right, let's close that. All right. Ozzy has a little shine through artisan prototype. Yeah, I have one of those shine through cherry keys. Like I have a red one. He gave me a red one for one time. Well, it's been a while actually. But yeah, that one's pretty cool too. All right. I want shine through where the artisan is a face and it shines through the mouth. I feel like that's probably very doable. There are some sculpts that kind of what sculpt? I'm trying to think of a sculpt that has exactly that. There's definitely some out there. not fully basically not fully translucent. Some opaque, some translucent. I feel like, I mean, the Omnibus kind of works in that sense, like this one that I showed, right? This is basically translucent down here and opaque at the top. But pretty much most like humanoid or pseudo sort of creatures will have that, like sculpts like that, because it's like, or it's like doable rather. You know, it's a very colorway dependent thing. Hunger, I guess, sort of. As that's assuming that the tongue part is translucent too, right? Yeah. But also Hunger Key kind of has a very big, like, it's mostly mouth. Sounds weird, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Okay, let's try this. Oh, damn. 9 Walker with the sub, and it's 65 months. Oh my god, it's almost over? Are you telling me it's almost over? Oh, that's so sad. Thank you, though, 9 Walker. Your support has always been very much appreciated. Thank you. Wait. Why did my... Let's see. These... Alright, there you go. Looks like one of my Stream Deck buttons broke. Oh well. Usually just click a button and it comes up on the screen, but this time it didn't. Alright. Let's stop the music. Stop the fan over here. And let me see. Let's just make sure to adjust the focus here. And alright, so this is the Spyder TKL with Gateron Khonsu switches. These are full travel factory lube switches. I forget the exact materials. You can find it on Unikeys, but pretty nice. And currently on a polypropylene plate, top mount with an O-ring in between. Basically, the O-ring is just wrapped around the the usual place between the PCB and the plate, but it's top, like the whole assembly is still top mounted regularly. Basically, just kind of adds a little extra dampening. And yeah, full palm. Oh, so kind of like cream switches, yeah. All right, crispy. All right, let's try it out. It sounds like a keyboard. Yeah, this is factory lubed. But these are all palm, so they have that kind of like crispy sound. And then we are using a plastic plate. So yeah, but so that's what it sounds like. Pretty high pitched. I would say not like, it's not high pitched like a long pole linear though, which I actually like, because long pole linear high pitch is, for me, it's a little jarring eventually. This one is actually pretty tolerable. But I mean, everyone's a little different about this stuff. Some people hate it, some people love it, kind of thing. Some people might say sounds like trash, so yeah, it's okay. All right, so let's listen to the mods. I like it actually. I feel like this has the volume of like a long pole type of build, kind of crispy, high pitch, you know, all that, but without it actually being short travel and without it also being long pole feeling. Like there's a feel to long pole switches. The plastic and plastic hitting, that feel is it's very obvious. It doesn't have that because it's actually the actual full travel switch. So it actually feels and sounds pretty nice, very crisp. I actually really like it, and I think plastic plate was the move. I personally wouldn't do a like a metal plate on this probably. I think the switches might not sound that good on the metal plate. Who knows? So I think the choosing any of the plastic plates was probably the right move. Feel wise, the board. I mean, the board itself, it still feels like a top mount board with the O-ring, right? So pretty stiff. I was obviously not stiff like 10-point mount or 8-point mount with the symmetrical mounting points, like right stiff. So the like there's no stiffness around the space bar as much, right? That kind of stuff. But feels nice. I mean, kind of feels close to what a lot of other boards that are this specific configuration feel like. 7-point, 8-point with no space bar mount. So in that sense, kind of close. But otherwise, like it does feel and sound nice. Like it doesn't have, you know, weird hollowness or right. It doesn't have any of the, you know, weirdness that can come with certain boards with extra metal contact, or like, you know, some boards on top mount don't sound that good. Sounds pretty good. So can we compare this to Jane or Matrix OG or OTD? I'll say yeah, kind of similar to. So one thing that I definitely noticed in a lot of Matrix builds is Matrix builds sort of like, so Matrix boards in particular have a lot of, they use like a really thin bump on, so kind of transfers a lot of that typing into the desk, so kind of feels like low and thuddy, like kind of has that sound and feel to it. Probably because there's like a lot of this surface contact onto the desk. Whether you're using a desk mat or not, actually, I don't think it really matters. I think Matrix boards in general just kind of lay low. Compared to like a Jane, kind of more similar to that actually. I would say like if you do top mount to top mount comparison. So yeah. This is dual mounted, yeah. So top and O-ring, and this is an FNF unit, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna turn this fan on because it's like super hot in here. But pretty. I actually like this combo. I feel like this is, I mean, it's technically stock, it's factory lube, but the lubing is actually consistent, so it doesn't feel like these switches don't feel like stock switches that are inconsistent throughout. Because, you know, like when you do a build with, I mean, I'm not sure if you guys have done a lot of builds with stock switches, but there's a time I used to do a lot more builds with stock switches, and it's very obvious the inconsistency in the batch sort of thing. These for especially for Gateron switches too, also these are pretty consistent. Like I don't feel weird extra lube or like stickiness, that kind of stuff in the batch of switches that I did. So pretty good. Yes, we can try other mounts as well. Like we can do what is that? Top mount and O-ring only. So I guess the easiest one is just to take out the O-ring and just do top mount only. So yeah, this is not that loud though, lamp. I think this is like, it's like loud as a regular stock switch, but no louder than that. It's not high pitched HMX or slash long poles build type of situation where it's like clack 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 clack, that kind of stuff. That I personally can tolerate it like half an hour, and then I'm like, I'm done. I'm done for now. Don't love super high-pitched loud switches for a very extended period of time. Just not my jam. So it's not quite that. It's just kind of stock switch sounding, but it's pretty nice. Kind of refreshing compared to like pure cherry, pure Gateron, like, you know, Gat milky yellow type of build, you know? KS3 yellows all you need at this point? I mean, KS3 yellows or GATX or like all those like, you know, like Gat Pro type of switches, they're all great. I mean, they're all nice for sure. Okay, can I take this O-ring out without actually... I think I can. Might be able to just do this. Let me use a classic spudger. Okay, O-ring out. Let's do top mount only. Ink switches need to go on sale 75% off. Inks were pretty pricey when they first came out. If I recall, they came out at, was it 75 cents per switch, something like that, right? It was something crazy like that. I remember inks were pretty pricey when they first came out. They still kind of are pricey, right? Aren't they still that pricey? I think they are, yeah. For whatever reason, inks were always like expensive. They're still 80 cents per switch, 75, 80. Damn, that's so high. Then again, I mean, there's a lot of switches from other brands like non-cherry or like that are pretty pricey, like close to the dollar switch. Basically anything in between like 60 and like, or 70 and like $1 is like pretty pricey. Or not pretty pricey, but it's on the higher end now. I feel even cherry switches have come down, I think. I think you can now get cherry switches for around 35 cents a switch, which is actually kind of new. When I first started in the hobby, 50 cents per cherry switch was the norm, generally speaking. And that was like kind of nice. Like that was like, oh, that's a good price. But yeah, now cherry switches, yeah, down to like 30 to 35 cents. It's super good. So okay. All right, let's top mount now. If it's more than 40 cents a switch, I'm out. Fair. Okay. That was fast. Let's alright, top mount only this time. Just gonna keep the fan on. I hope it's not too loud. Let's snooze the ads for 5 minutes here, and let's try this out. Alright, so now we have top mount, so no O-ring, okay? Same build. Gateron Khonsus on polypropylene. Ooh, I actually think top mount is a play on this, right? I think the spacebar sounds really nice on top mount on this. I actually think top mount spacebar on this sounds a lot better with this particular build. I actually think top mount better than the dual, personally. I like it more. It kind of punches harder. It's crisp still, and the spacebar kind of like really pops there. I like it more on top than on the dual from earlier. Anyway, I'll go through the mods. Yeah. A little bit more hollowness, more resonance here now, right? Yeah, like I can tell on the right side there's a little bit more resonance from the mods here, and then these like middle modifiers sound a little bit quieter, but the spacebar sounds nicer. I think the spacebar hits better on this. So if you want a more emphasized or more kind of like crisp spacebar, the top mount here looks good on this particular build. I like it better personally. I think I would give up the sound, like some extra like resonance here, like, you know, having this resonance here, I would be like fine with it, and then just use this because it sounds overall kind of cleaner. But very good, very good. Yeah. Are these full or short travel? These are full travel. Boo! Oh, full travel switches are so nice. What are you even talking about? Give me my full 4mm. I'm not one to be nickel and diming on 0.5mm. I mean, I technically am, right, if I'm caring for the full travel. Give me the full travel, right, meow. Anyway. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Do cherry switches pole or rail bottom out? I guess rail, right? Because it's the sides. Yeah. Sorry, I like get these terms confused, but yeah, rail. Is the sides that bottom out, not the middle stem. Okay. So lastly, do we do O-ring? I need to go take a shower. Sounds good. Thanks for the build. No worries. Of course. Wait, what did Frank say earlier? I like how they sound, but I like the typing feel of extended poles, even if it's 3.8. Oh, I don't like the typing feel of long pole as much, specifically because of the way it feels when it bottoms out. It's like a, I don't know how to explain it. It's like a kind of harsh almost. When you feel that center of the stem bottom out, it's kind of harsh feeling. Yeah, I think that's really the only way to explain it. It's just kind of harsh. Feels like I'm typing on the wall. That's fair. Oh, hi. Yes. Yes, chef. Sorry, someone had to walk through. Okay, there we go. She doesn't crawl any. She doesn't crawl anymore. End of an era. Hey now, don't be offensive. Don't be offensive like that. Okay, let's do O-ring, right? Okay, so Diego, what's your most prized possession keyboard? I mean, I would say there's probably I mean, there's two that are pretty personally important to me. The first one is my Ion Rogue. It's a prototype technically. It's a 60% by Mr. Poner Ion. And yeah, it never was released as a production. And it was a gift from Mr. Poner, and you know, I have lots of respect for Poner, and obviously he's a good friend. So I genuinely enjoy that board. I think it looks good, it feels nice, sounds nice. So it's a nice board. You know, it might not be anything that defies the laws of physics or whatever, you know. It's just regular sandwich gasket mount type of board. But it, you know, it's just some, you know, I got it from someone that I respect and really appreciate, and so yeah, I enjoy that one a lot. Another one, I would say, it's not so much the keyboard, but it's really the fact that it was offered to me built. Was my Jane V2. My Jane V2, you'd see who is the designer, TJR Sam. He built the build that's currently in it. He was very kind. It was a time when we were chatting around a lot and stuff, and we became friends over nerding out over keyboard stuff, and he offered to build it for me. And so he built it. I mean, it's the build that's currently on it. It's a PC half MX Black build. But mostly, just kind of it was I don't know, it's a gesture of great respect and just in general an honor to kind of have someone else build something for me, and it was not because I asked or anything. It was he just kind of offered, and it arrived, and it was great, and I really like it, and so that was also it's probably one of my prized possessions, so to speak, but more so for the gesture of having it had built. It could have been any keyboard, but yeah, my JMV2 was built by Yutsi, and that's something I really really enjoy. And I think those two are probably up there. I mean, other ones would be boards that I personally just have acquired. I think the last one maybe is my 356 Mini. It came through a trade sort of situation with someone I know, a friend of mine in the community, and he also made it all, or it was we were not sure how it was gonna work out, but it worked out, and he was really kind to kind of offer all the details on the board and packed really nicely and sent a nice note. And yeah, I mean, ultimately it's also one of those things that I really enjoy because it was a sentimental value. Yeah, but yeah, my favorite boards are all the ones that have high sentimental value, because to me that's really how it is. That's really what I appreciate in the community. So yeah. Okay, so let's Yeah, I think those three probably. I mean, followed. I mean, I guess like the other ones that I could probably name. I mean, I really like my HKB in general. Like the one one of the ones I have, I really like. It's like a nicely modded. I actually didn't do the modding myself, but it's just nice. And I just like the look of it and love the feel. HKB was like my first love in the hobby, so to speak. So yeah, I mean, but HKB is like replaceable, right? Like it's an OEM board. So yeah, I think that ultimately these boards could have been any boards really, but it's just a gesture that people did, and I just really appreciate it. But yeah. I want to open up my HKB one day. You totally should. I don't think it's... I personally don't love the HKB stock. I'll be frank with you. Do you have a busy week ahead of you, Deegs? Yes, I do. I have a... Actually, let me... You're gonna make me look at my calendar, Kubo, and I kind of hate it, but I kind of have to. This week, yeah, it's busy. I have a presentation that I need to do for like my team, where I basically give like updates and stuff and like technical stuff, and then we have like some internal meetings that are happening. At least one of the people, like at least like like I think like one of my bosses will be away, so it's kind of like more chill in some ways, but also next week I'll be away for like business travel, so I have prep to do. So yeah, it's kind of busy. it's ultimately it's pretty busy this week. It's kind of hectic actually. It's a busy week. Yeah, I don't think there's beating around the bush there. It's gonna be a busy week. Kira, hello. How's it going? I'll be back in Japan December. Oh, finally going to try an HKB. Nice. That's awesome. All right, let's try out this last one. So this time I have it on O-ring mount. So let's try O-ring mount. So this is just O-ring. So let's give this a shot, shall we? O-ring mount. There it is. I think I still prefer top slightly. I would say, though, that O-ring is pretty nice to make the whole thing sound a little bit more tied up. Like, between the spacebar and the like alphas, it's a little bit more uniform, but I actually kind of like the extra pop that the spacebar had on the top mount myself. There's also like a little bit extra like vibration sort of traveling through the, because in O-ring mount you're essentially having the assembly mounted on the bottom piece, so it's kind of more, it kind of goes more into the bottom of the board, and therefore your desk kind of feel that a little bit more on O-ring mount. I kind of like the isolation from that in top mount, but you know, ever so slightly more. They're all pretty solid. Yeah. That said, you know, softest for sure, like for sure. You can definitely tell it's a lot softer on O-ring only compared to top or, you know, dual mount, so to speak. Okay, so mods. Have you tried dual mount? Yes, I did. That was the first thing I tried. And then I did top, and then I did O-ring. Yeah. Yeah. O-ring makes it sound whole, top mount very snappy, gives it flavor. Yeah, that's exactly right. Alright. Mods. For whatever reason, O-ring mount, there's a little bit more resonance on the top row. That said, nice and consistent alphas though, pretty like nicely tight together, and a little bit more less, like a little less resonance from the side, but overall pretty good sound. Pretty good sound. Why does the shift key look slightly slanted? Maybe it's just not pressed evenly. This one, this one. They have a little bit of wiggle room on all stabs. That's just the way it goes. Would you personally go with another plate switch choice? I would love to try tactiles, like MX Browns on like a PC plate or something type of deal on this. I think they would probably feel nice. Yeah. But these are pretty good. Yeah. I actually think like these louder switches sound pretty good in this board. Like just the right amount of resonance in there, so maybe not something not too muted, I think. So yeah, like a tactile would be good. Like a light tactile would be good. RM Brown's linears. The Khonsus being full palm, do they feel like they bind like the old NK creams? No. No. They feel really smooth. These just kind of drop down to the bottom pretty nicely. NK creams definitely had like more initial, like almost like preload almost to press it down. These ones feel like really smooth, considering this all full palm. For the material. So, and yeah, I think the factory lubing on these is pretty good, pretty uniform. Is it a common thing for tactiles to be paired with softer plates? Yeah. So a lot of people, at least back in the day, especially, they would pair linears with harder plates like brass, steel, alu as well. Of course, alu is like the perfect middle ground. And then you get a lot of people would do tactiles with like polycarb, like, you know, plastic plates, half plates, obviously, whether it's alu or poly or whatever. Yeah, I think it's like a combination of that like bounce, that like extra upstroke feel from the extra downstroke and upstroke, like, you know, the bump from the tactile switches with the softness of the plastic. Of the plastic plates that would pair pretty well. But I mean, it's all subjective at the end of the day. You can like whichever. People nowadays do a popular combo right now, or has been for a bit now, is carbon fiber with tactiles. Whether it's, you know, MX Clears, MX Browns, whatever you name it. Pretty popular too. So preference at the end of the day. Yeah. Yeah, no, these sound nice because they have a bit of that like stock like personality despite being factory lubed. I mean, they are technically stock. They're technically out of the box, out of the bag. These Gateron Khonsu switches. So I like them. I think they're kind of crisp sounding. They can feel a little crunchy sounding because of material and the fact that they're completely stock combined, like, you know, very lightly lubed factory lubing application wise. But they're nice. I think they're a good pairing in this particular build. I think it's a good combo. I think Lamp made a pretty good bet, good call there. All right. So shall we show the board here and move along? So here is, here's a board. Nice. It's a very nice purple. I would say in real life, this purple is sort of like this tone, like this. Up close, the light starts to reflect a lot more. So kind of like there. It's like a soft purple. Like he called it like purple sage, but it's a very nice color nonetheless. You have a little taper here, but the seam is right below it. It's kind of very hardly visible, but it's there. There's a seam. And then here in the back, there's the weight. There is a little. There's a daughter board. Sorry, it's like having a hard time focusing here. And then there's a little engraving there. I think that's for these units. Spyder, kind of little machining marks around the weight, and then, you know, side profile, right? Pretty nice looking board though. Fairly low front height, you know. And if you really wanna like check or whatever, remind me of Widowmaker. Yeah. You know, you get kind of a little estimate there. It's like, no, 6, not too high. 17 over there, something like that. But, you know, not too high in the front height here. And there's a front. It's a very nice looking board. Widow, can you switch to soldier? We need more DPS. For real. Widows who are bad are actually like, like, they better be good. They better be getting those headshots in. Switches to Genji. Oh my god. And then we have a little kind of like, there's indicators. So actually there's a scroll lock indicator right there, and there's also a caps lock indicator over here. I don't have caps lock enabled right now, so it doesn't show up. And there's a little RGB kind of like keys there, diffuser as well, so you can sort of see it there. So yeah, there it is. And there it is, Spyder TKL in a very gorgeous purple. Very nice looking board, and pretty nicely sounding too. So I like it. All right. So yeah, that's the build for tonight. Oh, 2.5 hours already. Wow. Guess I should probably bow out pretty soon. Let's see here. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna wrap it up here though. Let's see. I'm not sure if anybody is streaming at this point. It's pretty late and it is a Sunday night. Oh, Patty is. Patricia, hi. Okay, great. She's building a frog mini for a client. Oh, awesome. We can go raid Patricia. Good luck on your presentation. Thank you. I still have a bunch of stuff to prepare. Fortunately, it's not tomorrow, so I'm not feeling as pressured. But I do have work to do. So thanks. I don't need the luck. I get distracted easily, so it's important for me to get working. But yeah, you'll be seeing me stream though this week. I do have some builds coming up this week. I believe what's coming up is I have the ND104 from Chilkey/Woodtray Studio. The Neo 80 CU is coming up soon, and the Machina Cloud 9 R2 was supposed to arrive pretty shortly, but I think there is a delay on that, so you'll see the Machina Cloud 9 R2 later in October, like later in this month, like more like mid-October. So that one's a little bit later. I think there is a board that I still haven't gotten, but that's basically scheduled to be built as well, called the Haven 60 from Atelier Haven. This is currently being run through Key Spencery. That one should also be built, I think, this week. So you'll see me a couple times this week. Next week, though, you won't see me. You might see me once, either at the end of the week or the beginning, but probably not in the middle, because I'll be away because of work stuff. But yeah, you'll see me more this week, and then skip next week essentially, and then the week after. So yeah, I ordered buys to put mine on, but that never came. Oh no, I'm sorry, Ben. All right, let's raid Patricia. Thank you as always, everybody. Thank you for those. Thank you to all of you who came by and showed support. Pocket Donut, thank you for the sub. ELH Customs, 9 Walker, always thank you. But yeah, I will see you all next time. Later this week. Probably not tomorrow. Most likely either Tuesday or Wednesday night. For weekdays, I usually stream evening time. Okay, late afternoon, evening time, depending. But yeah. All right, friends. Have a great week ahead of you. If you're already starting your week, hope you have a great rest of your week and have a nice Monday. Okay, folks. See y'all later. Take care. Bye.